LittleBoi can take the initiative with this Kragg.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned like the movement changes. I think that not only makes Moonwalk more effective and it makes it more viable, but it also helps dash dancing as well, right? Like that kind of stuff is why we've seen a little bit of the gameplay that we saw today. You know, even in that that first set, we saw a lot of like Zetter dash dancing and stuff like that. This is the kind of stuff that makes the meta happen, just because we know, okay, this is now one of our stronger tools. It's like, okay, well, the rest of the like run speed might be lower, but the initial dash, I can still get lots of stuff out of that. And if you were able to, you know, get your movement set up, I think you're good. But that might, yeah, I think we just had another of the same slowdowns.
A little bit of a of the graphics card just being a little like, whoa, hold on there, bud.
It's like, I'm not ready to play the game.
This is usually why they play the graphics at like low settings in events. I don't think it's set to the lowest, but all the same, you know, it's happened a couple times. Hasn't happened enough to throw anything off. But gotta check the controls.
Oh, Rumble, yeah.
Oh, turn off Rumble.
Yeah, I don't play with Rumble for sure. Okay, cool. So they're gonna let it rock.
Some pop-offs.
Oh yeah.
Some pop-offs.
Okay, wow, that's crazy.
So that's some stuff happening on
the ult stream,
on the ultimate stream, and
never mind. Upset denied.
It was close. It was close, but
anyway,
Floopy walking with it.
Cool. But yeah, we're back to it. LittleBoi versus Dr. Fizz. We're finally getting really into game number 1 at last. Hopefully no more technical issues, but I really hate that they both took the blue skin. That's annoying. I wish they didn't do that.
The blue retro skin, too.
Well, just when you wanted, you pick green, please. Anything else.
They're matching.
God.
They're friends.
At least it's not on Hyperborean or something. I would actually...
As a starter?
As
a starter?
Well, that's true. That's true. You know what I mean. But, like, oh, my God, I would cry. All right. Low down throw stuff. Oh, the dash dance, there it is again. Being able to just get out of the range of the get-up attack. And all of a sudden, look at that. The follow-up. Dr. Fizz on the wrong end of that one.
Yeah, trying to check with all of trying to find any sort of opening with these various pokes and starters, like down to needles, like nairs and fairs, but nothing's quite landing. Having to resort to grabs, finds the Dacus. Dacus a great starter right now thanks to the 4-hug changes of always making it so strong to put you into tumble and can start conversions, but Kragg is still very heavy and can just take all of this punishment and then some if it means he can get back to the stage.
Yeah, as long as you keep teching these situations, getting yourself out, even the follow-ups on the platform haven't really been enough, but Dr. Fizz doesn't need to go too far, just is able to catch that little forward air above ledge, so good stuff.
Blink of an eye. That roll and getting scouted too. Dash attack, F to got caught.
With the bubble, and all of a sudden the fair, it's over. LittleBoi, what the heck was that?
That was perfectly spaced, the down special. Those rock spires catching the high recovery, catching the larger hurt box that Ranno's been now sporting and turning it into some full-on advantage. Just trying to put out a flat drop forward air, but Dr. Fizz works around it. Trying to play fancy and trying to play flexible, but the movement just keeps getting caught. These roll-ins shut down. The way that land missed.
Yeah, that's tough. Oh, and then the wall actually getting broken by the downward angle. I like it, but yeah, LittleBoi still able to find that way. That fading fair is still so important here.
Back throw, finds just one back air. Setting up off stage, breaks the pillar, but is a little too close. Whoa, hello. That should do it, yeah. Okay.
Very nice, very nice. Still, it's last stock in Ranno at 116. Kragg just needs one really good setup, and it could lead to something, an up strong, a backer forward air, or something like that. Oh, there it is. Backer forward air.
Yeah, easy peasy, but a scary spot beforehand. Dr. Fizz starting to cook up with not only a quick combo off of the first of the throw and into a Dacus and then taking it off stage. He was just like a hair's spacing away from hitting Kragg during the pillar rise, instead of hitting the pillar while it was rising and during its invulnerability frame. So like the fair couldn't break pillar at that timing and just barely missed Kragg, which could have turned the entire game around and got Dr. Fizz the win. Instead, forced into a scramble, and the landing back there is just so good at covering that slightly off of ledge space.
Right. So now we're going to Air Armada, and I can't see all of a sudden. So Like, yep, good thing I'm not colorblind, everybody. just like camo. I'm like, okay, so we got a couple good trades here. I mean, but at the same time, like, look at this offstage presence from Dr. Fizz already forcing LittleBoi Owl all the way out and still trying to get these a little bit deeper edge guards. There's a double hit, 2 for 1 off the pillar and Kragg. Some back, and then can we get forward air? Yep, it is going to do it. Very nice.
Off the super jump as well. Excellent pickup, finding that nice. The launching hit of dash attack. That's sometimes harder to land, but you can use it as a cheeky extender, especially when forcing off stage. Not guaranteed anymore. That down throw down strong is still very good as a read, but you're not going to be able to launch it for free.
Yeah, had gotten it in game 1, but now all of a sudden, like, yeah, you can see, like, you just have to get, like, specific with your timing. And yeah, it's not guaranteed, but sometimes you just got to go for it anyway. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, it's still good damage, especially if you can find that timing. Oh, nice 4-hug down though.
Yeah, not in range for the grab. Can't do too much. There you go. Looking for the needles, but hey, the platform right there, not helpful. And Dr. Fizz, definitely a little bit of an overextension.
Yeah, getting a little greedy off of the extension, the throw extension. Wanted to get a spike, that spiking forward air, get things started with Kragg going low, but not quite there. LittleBoi finding the nair into up air. 69% is hardly anything for Kragg, especially when you get exactly that and more.
Here we go, right?
Oh,
like, look at that. We
reverse
keep it
air.
going off the platform, converging, and then diverging. Love to see it. Gonna have to watch out for the rock shards as well. That's always the inevitable danger. Sometimes it could be the double-edged sword coming back to hurt you, but Dr. Fizz can't get that needle. Is waiting, but look at that, the pillar all the way down there, and LittleBoi is knowing that Dr. Fizz can't really go down there to contest too much. It's unsafe.
That forward air barely whiffed in there. We're seeing both players honestly get away with some very, very like razor's edge type of recoveries, finding their way back over and over, but reverse fair, finding one more, but it is sent back in. You're not getting those sour spots, but you do find the tech chase off that down strong. Perfectly timed, seeing the tech roll away, able to keep the lead. Dr. Fizz holding steady with this 2 stocks to 1 lead, trying to find yet more, forced him to tumble off the Adakis.
Yeah, a couple times we're seeing this roll out on the tech from LittleBoi. Can't rely on that too much, but at least we are going to get the fair to take the stock. It's going to be enough, a low percent fair here to get that 400. Now, all of a sudden, we can get a low percent combo. LittleBoi starting to build some damage on Dr. Fizz. Dr. Fizz just looking for any opportunity to break out of this combo.
Seeing a couple like flatfall options, trying for anything, but what have we seen?
Okay, extended off the rock, very nice.
He's holding steady thus far, finds the nair, looks for the reset, and gets, Dr. Fizz got caught mashing a little bit with the F-tilt, trying to find any hit.
Ooh, that might do it. Yeah, that's going to do it. Yeah, the DI, not good.
That missed tech had to have been a tech roll away, because
of course, he was in the direction,
yeah.
You're right. That's probably true.
That's tough.
That is really tough. And I feel like that's a couple times we've seen something like that happen on stream today. So it is really unfortunate. You hate to see it because, you know, sometimes it's just a misreaction or something like that. But, you know, if you're not 100% on point all the time, stuff like that will happen. And in a moment where you lose the game like that and go down 2-0, it's so tough. What does Dr. Fizz do here on Harbor?
I mean, Merchantport is a pretty solid stage for Ranno in a lot of facets. The combo extensions are crazy because of the super jump on reaching the top platform. Edge canceling and recovery mix-ups are insane, but just as much, the offensive flexibility is just as powerful for Kragg because he can reach those side platforms, and because things like back air cover most of the spacing mix-ups that Ranno is typically going to go for off of like the side platform ledge cancels. So if you're already covering all of that space, I would have rather seen Dr. Fizz go actually back to Air Armada for the spacing that and the stage width that
I
it
agree.
provides.
I think Air Armada would have been a nice choice.
Instead, we're kind of seeing LittleBoi kind of run away with it.
Oh, no. That's really unfortunate for Dr. Fizz because it's like, I mean, I know that this is a good stage for Ranno. It's like one of those great horizontal stages with lots of opportunities for movement and the tongue mix-ups and stuff like that. But Dr. Fizz is unfortunately not able to really do anything because LittleBoi is so dominant, getting these gigantic advantage states. 8 hits strung together, still going.
Just trying for anything, but we've refreshed the pillar. Which means you have full distance pillarless twice over after the wall jump.
Yep.
It's just, it's so hard to land a hit that matter. Tech off the rock, converted, wanted the finish. Instead, Dr. Fizz just like gives it up and says, you know what, LittleBoi's playing in a flow state that's hard to match. Finally did the back air into down B a couple times over.
Strong finisher.
Super strong finisher. And that's going to make LittleBoi with the upset, by the way.
It is an upset.
Upset by seed. Dr. Fizz was the 6th seed, which would have made LittleBoi in the 10s, I believe.
Sure.
Or in like that 10 to 12 range.
Sure.
And you know what? That is a pretty commanding 3-0. Game 1 and 2 was close, but on Merchant Port, LittleBoi cashed out on all the information, takes the lead, which means in top 16, which is again going to happen a little bit later, Dr. Fizz will drop down to losers qualifiers, and LittleBoi will play against Kakasol in the round of top 16.
Seems like a common trend. Every time we see a set, it's like, okay, well, we're watching the set, but on the other side of this set,
yeah,
the dark cloud rises, and Cake is just sitting there like, no one shall pass. But hey, we'll see.
It's a really interesting tournament. This Patchwork 2025 is, because basically from seed, I want to say like seed 3 down, maybe like seed 4 down to include Lucius. Or rather, seed 4 and up are like in a tier of their own, and then seed 5 down, like there's so many killers. It's absolutely